until they saw the female CEO arrive with hundreds of subordinates and address the man as boss. The arrogant second-generation rich kid only then realized the man he had blinded was the son of the wealthiest person in the country. He was instantly terrified and quickly knelt down to beg for mercy. The chairman, who was deeply concerned for his son, decided that today, the blood debt must be repaid in full. It turns out the man was not only the chairman of the prestigious World Trade Group, but also the behind-the-scenes founder of a fortune that could rival countries. But he had hidden his identity on purpose, just to train his son without any bias. Little did he know, his decision indirectly harmed his son. That day, he was preparing to give the World Trade Group as a birthday gift to his son, when unexpectedly, his sister-in-law stormed in. Without saying a word, she slapped him hard, and showed him a video she had prepared earlier. It turned out that the chairman's son was being bullied by a group of thugs. They surrounded him and beat him mercilessly. His ex-girlfriend had treated him like an ATM, dumping him for the thugs. The thugs even threatened him to sign a voluntary waiver of his commission contract and leave immediately. Unaware that this commission was what the young man had worked hard to earn, he couldn't just give it up. When the thugs saw he refused to back down, they beat him even harder, and even blinded one of his eyes. Soon, the young man's sister-in-law found out about this, and angrily confronted the chairman, scolding him for being a chairman of such a large company. Yet unable to protect his own son, the chairman was speechless, only able to silently clench his fists. The sister-in-law issued a harsh warning that if the matter wasn't resolved to her satisfaction, she would take her nephew abroad, and they would never see him again. The chairman immediately stopped all work, and swore to make those who hurt his son pay dearly. Just as he was about to find the second-generation rich kid, the latter called him first, saying he wanted to apologize. The chairman immediately agreed, and they arranged to meet at the hospital where his son was staying, to discuss compensation. Little did he know, his arrogance would soon lead to his own humiliation. At the hospital, upon seeing his son lying in bed, the chairman was overcome with deep guilt. He immediately ordered his men to clear the hospital, so that no innocent bystanders would be disturbed by the commotion. At that moment, his son finally woke up, but the first thing he did was not to care about himself, but to urge his father to flee. However, his father firmly declared that he would make the others pay for their actions. Before he finished speaking, the second-generation rich kid and his men appeared. Seeing the chairman dressed in high-end brands, they assumed he had rented those clothes to demand a high compensation. The rich kid then pulled out 100 million yuan in ghost money, and provocatively told the chairman to take the money and leave. But the chairman remained calm, wanting to see what the rich kid could do. Seeing that the chairman didn't respond as expected, the second-generation rich kid thought he was too scared to speak, and immediately ordered his thugs to beat up the chairman. At this moment, the man on the hospital bed, fearing that the rich kid would hurt his father, begged the rich kid to spare both him and his father, and even offered to give up all treatment and compensation costs. The chairman was shocked that his son was so weak and helpless. To break the deadlock, he immediately ordered his assistant to gather the board of directors and send out the elite special forces to fight the rich kid to the death. At this point, the second-generation rich kid still thought the chairman was bluffing and had no real power, so he ordered his men to break their legs. The young man, knowing his father didn't have the strength to fight back, knelt down and begged the rich kid to spare him, but the